What I want, peeps, what I want. It's Valerie's Naturals Oracles. And today, this is all new. This is a new channel. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Valerie's Naturals. I'm a vegan. I've been awakened. And it's all about the ascension process. And I'm here because I've been channeled to actually send messages via mostly oracles, sometimes tarot, but mostly oracles. And I want to discuss things like the divine feminine, the divine masculine, just general topics, finances, and see what we can come up with. So, here it begins. So not only will I be doing the oracles and the channels, but I also want to actually do subjects like all to do with the ascension process, because I've had an awakening. I've been going through this for the last couple of years without even realizing it, and it's only via actually studying and looking into what's been going on I've realized that I've actually gone through quite a lot of the actual ascension process, which is called kundalini. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this actual channel into two. So one part of it will be the tarots, and if you just want the tarots, I'm just going to do a set price for that. But if you want to know about what's going on, if you feel that you've been awakened, if you feel that you're going through a process and you are not sure what it is, and you want to know about divinity, because it's all to do with divine, and it doesn't matter what language, well, not even so much language, what religion you are. If you're an atheist, it doesn't matter, because you'll soon find out that divine will want you to actually pray to them, actually have love for yourself. It doesn't even matter if you're an atheist. You could be an atheist, you could be a Christian, you could be a Catholic, you could be a Buddhist. I'm actually a Nichiren Buddhist, and that's what's opened me up, because I learned to love myself. The first part, from what I understand, is you've got to learn to love yourself first, with all your flaws. And then the second part is that you've got to get to such a low level. It doesn't happen this way for everybody, but you've got to get yourself to such a soul level. You've got to be so degraded that you call out for help, and you're calling out for help from the divine, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Along the line, and I'm telling a little bit of my story, along the line I asked for unconditional love. And it turned out I found my twin flame, and we don't even talk now. And I don't know if it will ever stay that way. But there is so much to this subject, because it's not just about the feminine, the masculine, divine, or anything like that. It's that we have a contract to fulfill on this, on this earth. And we're actually ascended beings, and it gets deep. But there's things like the physical, the 3D and the 5D. But I could go on, but I don't want to do that today. Because that'll be on another subject. That'll be on another thing. That'll be on a separate subject, which I will put on there. I'll do an introduction, obviously, on this channel. And I've got a video that I did that I went way crazy and went deep. You know, things like the shadow of the valley and karma. And there's so much to it that you have to shed your ego. You have to shed, there's so much you have to fear. You have to shed so much. And I'm going through that process. I'm still going through that process. There's a lot that I still need to learn. But I'm one of those people, and again, there's so much to it. There's like the Akashic Records, and it's the equivalent of Judgment Day. And there's a whole library up there that can tell you exactly what you are meant to be, what your purpose is on this earth, as an ascended person, as somebody who's been awakened. But we could go deep. So anyway, today's day, because I've allotted days for each thing. So Monday will be divine masculines. We're doing anything to do with divine masculines. Tuesdays will be divine feminine. Wednesday's general. What did I do for Thursday? Let's have a look. I've got all the notes here. Thursday will be romance in general. Friday will be finances, and Saturday will be just general. And I'm going to rest on Sunday. So I'm trying to do it on a daily basis. I'm not promising that it will go in that way. I might just flip cards and that's it. It just depends on what mood I'm in. But what I'm trying to stick to. So today will be divine feminine. Anything to do with the divine feminine. So first of all, I've got all my I've just gotten onto, see, all this is new to me, but I've gotten to all to, this is amethyst. And I think this one is called Cellite, and it's really good for sleeping with. It's calming, and amethyst, which I've got around my neck as well, is for protection, especially females protection. So I wear it all the time. I don't even take it off when I go in the shower. But this is quartz. Get into it. It's really like, these things are really here for protection, to help you, to heal you, to calm you. And also what I'm into is sage. This is more like an introduction really, isn't it? I'm into sage. And this is a special, this is like from the ancestors. Yeah, the ancestors, there you go. Where it's the Indians that used to be on the plains that used to burn sage. And this is white sage. I've also got the white sage incense. But this is white sage. And you burn it for A, clearing the energies, B, it's for if you want to do negotiations, if you feel there's bad, I mean, we can go deep, but there's good energies, bad energies. There's people that do spiritual magic. Do you know what? There's candle magic. There's all sorts of things that you can do. You can attach magic to objects. So you've got to be careful who you're around. As an ascended person, you've got to be careful who you're around, because there is other beings out there. And if you don't know, now get to know that their purpose in life is to be a dark energy. You know, and they will cause your karma. Karma is something that is cause and effect. But we could go deep. But I don't want to do it as an introduction. This is gonna be you know, I've learned so much. I mean, look, I've got the Akashic Tower, which is the Akashic Tower, which is the Akashic records. And we might even go into that today. But for now, I'm gonna concentrate on, I've got angels and ancestors. I've got moonology, because that's really important. I've got the wisdom oracles. And what I might do as an audio later is the spirit messages, because spirit is talking to everybody. So I'm going to do one for the feminines today, divine feminines, to see what comes up. So what we should be looking at, because you really got to look after yourselves. And I've learned that I've got to start. I mean, I've been vegan for a couple of years, because that's another thing. I was vegan for a couple of years anyway. But what you don't realize is, as somebody who's in an awakening, where one of the actual universal laws is that you should not be, I mean, we can't say for everybody, but one of those essential laws is you should be eating from the earth. You should be eating from the earth, and you shouldn't be eating animals of any kind, because they are beings as well. And it's like cannibalism. You're eating that animal's stress. You're eating that animal's blood, sweat and tears. You're eating that animal's distress. If you want to look at it on that level, I mean, even milk, for milk to be produced, for you to drink milk, which is, milk is totally unnecessary. I don't know if you know, but get to know, milk is so totally unnecessary in the human diet, to be fair. And for milk to be produced, that cow had to be raped over and over again. So she's produced milk for her young, because remember, cow's milk is for cows and her young calf, right? But when her milk dries up after she's given birth to that child and she's weaned that actual cow child, in order for that farmer to get more milk out of her, he has to impregnate her all over again, which is amounting to rape. So he's literally impregnating her, putting his hand down her back passage, or wherever, you know, her whatever passage where a cow would come out of, to impregnate her all over again, to keep the milk being produced. So if you don't know, get to know. And let me tell you something, the actual industries will keep this going, because cow's milk is a profitable thing. Having cow's meat is a profitable thing. Having dairy cows is a profitable thing. And it's totally unnecessary. You don't need meat to get protein. You can get meat, you can get protein from absolutely every plant there is. It's just the degree of protein that you get in it. Have you ever heard of anybody dying of a protein deficiency? Have you heard of somebody dying of a protein deficiency? Have you? Think about it. I might have to do this video as an introduction, because this is getting silly now. But I say all that to say is that there's certain things that, as an ascended person, and for you to actually release some of the things that you shouldn't be dealing with. It's not so much like a Christianity thing, because I'm a Buddhist, but as a universe, we actually believe, I'm a Nichiren Buddhist, so we actually believe that your happiness is in within, and that's where I went, within. There's no heaven and earth, but we reincarnate, and we're probably reincarnations of ancestors, and hence the angels and ancestors, because, you know, when people die, their souls don't die, they reincarnate. And as a Buddhist, we believe in a universal law. It's universe. And it's the same thing. Divinity is the same thing, whether you call it divinity, whether you call it a universal law, whether you call it Hinduism, whether you call it... It's all the same thing. We all pray to one divinity, which is out there. Because let me tell you, brothers and sisters, especially sisters today, we are not alone. We are not alone. If you're an ascended person, you have your guides, you have your ancestors, you have your loved ones looking after you. If you go to a medium, a proper medium, they will tell you immediately who is looking after you. And I have one person in particular who I never got to meet because of a miscarriage, is the daughter I never got to meet. And it's a horrible thing to say, but she is looking after me. So there's things like this that you have to understand, that we are not alone. And there's probably stories I could tell you that would scare the shit out of you, which scared the shit out of me. But you get through, there's different stages of going through this thing. And one of my stages was discovering I had a divine masculine that is in total denial. And although he knows, he feels better when I'm there, he's in total denial, taking my love and trying to put it on somebody else, which, you know, or flinging himself all over the place, which in sense don't make sense, because he'll realise quick. If I pull those ties, I can go find another divine, or I stay by myself, and, you know, because we can talk to each other. Again, if you don't know, get to know, there's a thing called empaths, and he's an empath and he doesn't even know it, right? But until we have conversations, he will never know. Okay, so we're empaths. I can feel people energetically, and he's the one that I feel the most. So I can lie in bed and feel that he's having a bad day. And I don't know whether he's the other way around, but, you know, there's been days when I've been emotional and I said, no, that's not me. Someone's literally been crying, or they're literally really, or I can feel their fear, and I can feel where they're horny. I can even feel when they're horny. It's a horrible thing to say, but anyway, that's it really. So, I got to stop this rambling, and here I am. I got to stop this rambling now, because I'm really meant to be here to do a reading, so I'm going to do that now. So, what I want to go with first is the moonology. And first of all, we're going to clear the energies for this reading. And I usually do that with my singing bowl, which is you know, it's a Buddhist thing, but again, it's a good for clearing the energy. So thank you, Spirit. Okay, so today I'm gonna burn this, because this is the start of a brand new channel, and I'm gonna ask for protection and guidance, and I need the white sage so that we can get a decent read, and that we can help to clear the energies again. Candles and incense is also a good way of actually clearing energies as well. I don't know if you know that, because there's such a thing, which I haven't gone into, but you can use candle magic to break, this is going deep now, but you can use candle magic to break bonds. You can use candle magic for protection, and if you feel that there's entities around you, because there's good and bad. You know, there's entities around you that are plaguing you. You know, sometimes you go into a room and you can feel something like a chill go down you, or someone's looking over your shoulder who shouldn't be there, and someone touching you who shouldn't be there, and it's a spirit. It's an entity that shouldn't be there. So you protect yourself, and because you're an ascending being and you're somebody that is actually going through awakening, you should learn to protect yourself. And there's different ways, through meditation, through burning these incense, burning candles, making sure that you are praying to divine every single day, or meditating, or clearing your mind so that they can actually download to you and guide you. Because you have to, this is another thing that you have to do, is think about your intuition, your self-conscious. You have guides whispering in your ear. If you're really an awakened person, you'll have all this. You'll wake up. I wake up. My thing is music. I get guided through music. I didn't today, but I get guided through music. Music will just turn on automatically in my house. It's getting silly. And then I also have the angel numbers. And like last night I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 23, 45. So 11:45. But it was 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it's an angel number. You go and look these things up, because it's your guides, your angels, divine is trying to tell you something. So please, I'm also going to do a little thing. I'm going to do so many little subjects that what will help you with the awakening. And the first thing I might do is ascension basics and kundalini. Kundalini is the awakening. It's the posh name for awakening, basically. And it's the stages you go through and the things that happen to you. Like, what you think is you're cold all the time, and this is for one person in particular. I don't know if they're ever going to see this, but if you're cold all the time and you can't get warm, it's to do with the awakening process, and you don't even do it because you're fighting it. Things like constant headaches, things like aches and pains. You wake up in the morning and you've got vertigo. You know, you feel lightheaded, but it's because you're being downloaded. But the one thing that you know for sure, that you will also always feel this overwhelming love inside you, like an unconditional love, whether it's for your divine or just for divine, or if it's for your divine masculine. It's both. You have this all you want to do as an empath as well. There's different types of people. They call it different names. There's empaths, there's light workers, there's indigo, there's what do you call them? Indigo children. There's the rainbow children. These are all, you know, light workers. This is what we are, essentially, light workers, and we're here on earth for a purpose, and you need to know what your purpose is. So and that's another thing, you need to find out what your purpose is, and the way to do that is to go to your north node. It's all to do with astrology. Is a big part of this as well, because we're not of this earth. We're not people, because it's your soul, it's not your body. We're not of this earth. And that's deep now. That's deep. But if you really go into it, which I'm going to do a whole series of stuff on my Patreon channel, and never know, I might just put it on YouTube eventually. But this is basically because I'm trying to develop a soul family of people that who want the information, who can see where it's coming from, and how, and maybe it helps them along the way, because there's so many different facets to it that if you don't know, you need to know. So I'm going to stop the talking now and do a quick reading, because this could probably be an introduction, but I'm going to do a quick reading. I'm sorry, I've got dye on my fingers today, so you're going to have to forgive me. So Moonology. Moonology is one of those things you should be studying. Moonology and astrology. And I've got some fantastic books, which I haven't got here, which tell you all about your sign. So, for example, I'm Virgo, but my sun sign's Virgo, but my moon sign is Aries, so I can be quite fiery, and and my north node is Gemini, which means I can switch just like that, and it's almost like a shapeshifter type thing. If you look into it, it's almost like a shape. I can be the nicest person in the world, and I know I could be the nicest person in the world, but don't cross me. It takes a lot for me to get there, but once you cross me, you're going to see a different side of me. You're going to see a different side of me, trust me. And it's all to do with your North Node. I mean, that's one of the traits, but with your North Node, it will tell you what your purpose is and what your purpose was in a previous life. So, for example, my purpose on a previous life was to be a teacher. And this is probably why I sit here and do these things and keep talking and rambling, because it's almost like a lecture. I teach, but in this present day, on the other side of my North Node, I should be interacting with communities. And communities, whether it's online, whether it's in my local community, whether it's a worldwide community, it doesn't matter. But it needs to be said, and I'm here to teach that. And that is my purpose. That's part of my purpose, you know, as light workers, because there's a great awakening going on at the moment. And a lot of the light workers are going through the valley of the shadow, and they don't even realize it. They're dropping things that they used to do. They're getting rid of people that they shouldn't have in their life. Those bad entities that shouldn't be there. People that are causing you nothing but stress that shouldn't be there. This is not, you know, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So these things, astrology, moonology, you should be looking up all about kundalini. You should be looking up the essential process and what to expect. You should be doing certain things to actually protect yourself, because believe it or not, once you start going through the awakening, your body's going to start changing. And that's one of the things you need to be looking out for. Your body's going to start changing. Certain things is going to be happening. You have to protect your aura. There's so much to it. I would never know the whole thing. I would never know. But one of those things I've been doing for the last couple of years is veganism. Meat, I'm not going to lie. I've gone back to the meat every now and then. I've gone back to the cheese because cheese was my favourite thing. Nowadays, though, you can get substitute cheese that tastes just as good, which I do. But these are one of the things you should be, because you should be eating from the earth and not as a cannibal. It's a horrible thing, and it's deep and it's dark. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, get on Netflix. There's medicine is thy food, food is thy medicine. You know, there's things like, there's so many veganism videos on Netflix or on Amazon Prime movies and whatever. Get on there, have a look. You'll understand where I'm coming from. Because it amounts to a cannibalism, because these animals, because you wouldn't eat your dog, would you? You wouldn't eat your cat, but you'll eat a cow and a chicken but they're the same human beings. But you could say, that what's the difference? That's different. No, they're still human beings. A pig is more intelligent than a dog, but you will eat that pork. I'm not eating pork in about 10, 15 years. I don't eat pork. Never have, you know, I'm not gone there. That's, even if I was eating cheese, I was eating certain things, I would never touch pork. Never. Pigs are more intelligent. Not that I'm an animal lover, but what it amounts to when you're eating that animal, you're eating that animal's stress, because that animal was killed against its will. If you ever hear these animals squealing when they're going to slaughter, you'll understand. Get on Netflix and YouTube. This is going on too long. Anyway, let me do a quick one. I can talk for England. But yeah, to start going for ascension, especially you lovely females, it will so benefit you. You lovely females, it will so, and we're talking about divine feminines today. Divine feminines, Holy Spirit, holy angels, thank you for your protection, guidance and assistance, and give me these messages for the collective, and especially for the divine feminines. Please give me a message in reference to the divine feminines. Okay, so let's see. There's one. I'm going to take out two, I think, because I've got a few to get through, haven't I? I've got a few to get through. So let's spread it out one more and see what messages come up. Okay. There you go. So, divine feminines. Let's see what messages come out. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Emotions are running high, and it's a super moon. Are your emotions running high, ladies? There you go. Beautiful. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your divine masculines? Is there problems or is there issues with divine masculines that you're thinking about and your emotions are running high? Or is it your divine masculines that is emotions are running high and they can't control themselves because they know, they've realised what it is that, especially with twin flames, it's two parts of one soul. And they don't realise the pull. I felt the pull months ago. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll get to know. Twin flames. So, but this is about the feminines today. So, that's at the bottom of the deck. Emotions are running high. It says, don't let your past hold you back. And that's the South Node. Okay, so is there issues with your partner? See, I didn't want to turn this into a romance thing, but is there issues with your partner that's holding you back? Is there things that have happened that, it could be your divine masculine. Your divine masculine is probably holding on to old stuff, holding on to stuff that he shouldn't do, being all in this tradition, all in his ego, holding back from coming to you, to even having a conversation. Is that what they're doing? Because of pride and ego, which they should have dropped if they're going through the awakening process. Pride and ego has no place as far as the divine is concerned. It has no place. So if that's what you're doing, you need to stop going through that valley of the shadow. Trust me. So the next one is the full moon eclipse, and its conclusions are within reach. So maybe your divine masculines, divine feminines is actually coming to a conclusion. Here you go. That is a beautiful card. Can you see the actual full moon in the background? And we just had a full moon eclipse, didn't we, on the 5th? Today's the 7th, but this is the 5th. It's just the moon going through this. The conclusions are within reach. So let's give a quick read to the conclusions are within reach, shall we? Because that seems very appropriate. Because if you're anything like what's going on with me, and it may never happen. They may go another direction and have this emptiness the rest of their life. But what they still seem to realise is they need to fulfil a contract. And the contract is that, A, you should be with your divine feminine. So it should be your... Because especially if you're twin flames. If you're twin flame... It's a soulmate is different from a twin flame. If it's a twin flame... It's two separate hearts. You mirror each other. There's two separate parts of the heart in one. It's yin and yang. You're going to be different. Even if you come from different... You could be same-sex people. But, you're designed and you're 5D. I mean, we're in the 3D physical. Physical is 3D. Your 5D is happily talking to your counterpart and encouraging your counterpart to actually get with the program here on Earth. And if they don't want to do it, it could last. But they will forever feel empty. They will forever feel that they're missing something. They will forever feel that there's a problem there. And no matter how many people they're going to sleep with, no matter how many people they get with, they will still feel that it's not right. Something's not right. So, anyway, conclusions are what within reach. Okay, so let's go and look for that one. I can stop talking now. The spirits have got a lot to say. Maybe it's because this is a new channel, and this is going to be a new channel, and there is a lot to explain. And if you don't know, get to know. But conclusions. Come on. Where is it? Come on. Working for full moon, special full moon. Oh, silly cow! Full moon eclipse. I was looking at the wrong thing, wasn't I? There you go. Sorry, peeps. I'm sorry. 96. I was looking at the wrong thing, wasn't I? So, conclusion are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Full moon eclipse, and just like that, a door slams shut. If you're pulling this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking is about to reach a peak or has just done so, and things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for. Do you understand what I'm saying? What your soul signed up for. A way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. So allow events to unfold and be easier on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it's the right time, as hard as it might be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be a key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. So attune into the moon. That which is meant for me will not pass me by. And you know, I've been saying that to myself for the last couple of days. Additional meanings for this card. Okay, doors which slam shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free from karma. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Succeed, control, and let events unfold. Okay, so the teaching. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and very often about conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same, but on steroids. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it portends change. And didn't we just have one? Something many of us are uncomfortable with. But change is a part of life, and this card, no matter when you pull it, reminds you of that fact. Full moon eclipses can also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self. And I was just talking about this, isn't it? The shadow self, you're going through the shadow. Work with your darkness. Because you have a dark and a light part to you. Everybody has, you know. So I'll repeat that last sentence. It says, full moon eclipses can also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self, working with your darkness. So yeah, it's ego. It's the ego, it's the pride, it's the I don't care if I'm wrong and strong. Not realising that it's making them go through karma. And they will keep going through karma until they realise what they're doing. That what they did was wrong. Oh, what did I put those cards away for? I didn't mean to put those away. Let's take those out again. You see? Talking deep. So, yeah. And that's at the bottom of the deck. So we won't go with that one. Emotions are running high. Is that the one I read? No, conclusions are within. Right, okay. So let's see what our ancestors have got to say. Let's see what the ancestors have got to say. The ancestors, angels and ancestors oracle cards. So there you go. So I'm going to pull one for each part. So let's see. So we've got, don't let your past hold you back. Okay. So let's see what our ancestors have got to say. Okay. I'm trying to do this as quick as I can because I realise I've done a lot of talking, but it might be useful to somebody. So let's see what our ancestors have got to say. And if anything drops out, I'll take it. But don't let your past hold you back. So what does that mean for our divine feminines? What does that mean for our divine feminines? Holy Spirit, holy angels, ancestors and angels, please tell me, what does this mean for our divine feminines? Please give us a constructive answer. Thank you, spirits, holy angels, for your guidance, protection and assistance in showing the divine feminines what we need to do. We need to know in reverence to let the past holding us back. Okay, so nothing's coming out, so we'll do one card and see what our ancestors have to say. Our ancestors and our angels. So there you go. And we'll do one for that one. Conclusions are within reach. Is that two cards? Oh, well, that's two. So I'll take that one. Okay. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible, but this might go on for an hour. I hope not. So, in reference to don't let your past hold you back, we've got the Shield Maiden. So we've got the Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Now, can you see that picture there? She's defending something, isn't she? She's got her shield and she's got her sword and she's ready for war. Look at that. She's ready for war, isn't she? So, What is she shielding? What is she defending? Let's find out, shall we? We'll have a look at the book. And Shield Maiden. So she's actually one of the warriors, I believe. Just bear with me. Shield. No, I'm wrong. Sorry, take that back. It's sacred. She's a sacred one. So with these tarot cards, because they are actually tarot cards, but they're fantastic oracle cards as well. I mean, they go through this earth, fire, wind, air. So, and that relates to cups, swords, wands in the tarots. Swords, wands, you know, you get the drift. So let's go and find the Shield Maiden. So that's page 70. So see what she's got to say. Oh, I have to check if we're still going. Are we still going? Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. All right, so Shield Maiden. And let me see if I can hold that up for you while I'm reading this. So there she is. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. And this message is about the Shield Maiden is the female knight in shining armor. You hear that, divine feminines? In Viking tradition, women were seen as equal to men and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fiercely female energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield maidens worked together in times gone by to create shield walls of protection. So she also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. So there is an extended message. Shall we give it a quick, we'll do it quickly, shall we? Take some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you are not prepared for the task you are taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have a strategy in place and then let your guides support you as you move forward. Divine feminines, get that plan in place. Get that plan in place. Trust me, I'm in a bit of planning myself, so this applies to me too. Anyway, because there's certain things I want to do, and I've been procrastinating myself. So anyway, let's have a look. So conclusions are within reach. And what conclusions do you think are within reach? So this is autumn, release the old and rest. There you go. So this is to do with the seasons. Okay. And do you see that crow? And the leaves. He's resting on the leaves, isn't he? Because it's time to rest, isn't it? Release the old and rest. So let's have a look at that one. So it's autumn. And it all ties in, divine feminines. So this set of cards with these ancestors and angels is called seasons. So autumn. Do you want me to hold that up again? I'll hold that up for a little bit. Release all the pressure and expectations weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of renewal. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long cold winter and must let go of all the weight they are carrying in order to continue to grow and prosper. Okay. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper. The raven on the autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. So there's an extended message to this as well. You know what is heavy, what is holding you back. Is a person, Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go for their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You are being guided by your angels and nature itself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward. And you can do this. When autumn cards arrive in the future position of a spread, okay, or at least the last card in the reading, it can also indicate, oh, we don't need all that. Anyway, so there you go. Let it go, drop it. Is your divine masculine being taking the piss? Are they in their ego and their pride, and you've just done enough because you want respect and they're not giving it to you? Are they doing things behind your back? Because this, to me, it's more to do with people more than things. It could be that your job, you've had enough of a job and it's just getting... But most of this is to do with relationships. I'm going to pull one more set of cards from the wisdom of the oracles. And they're beautiful cards. So I'm going to put these ones away because they've done their job. I mean, they've confirmed exactly what I'm talking about. So, let's have a look. So let's put these away quickly. And let's go. And again, these are such beautiful cards. And they've got such a story on them. So these ones here, Wisdom of the Oracle, and they're deviation cards. So it's divine. It's divine cards. It's messages from divine. And today is, and I'm going to keep repeating it so that the energies understand what I'm talking about, that this is for the divine feminines today, because it's Tuesday. And I'm not sure what time of day I'm going to upload these, but I will get them up today because I'm starting a new channel, so I'm going to have to set up the channel first. So, if you're watching this, you lucky stiffs, it'll be the first one. I'm going to do introduction, but this will be the first set of cards that first set of, and it's the divine feminines, which way it should be. Women come first. When a man opens a door for you, it should be a man should be opening doors for you. You should have the respect to be able to open a door for you, look after you, take care of you, regardless if you're independent or not. They should be showing you that respect. And if they're not showing you that respect, put up those barriers. And I say that to say there's certain ways of putting up barriers without putting up barriers. Do you know what I mean? And I'm guilty of this myself. I've literally blocked people. Blocked. I call it blocked because I don't want to deal with their nonsense. But what you should be doing is letting it go, which I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it go, and whatever happens, happens. Because it's not fair as somebody that's going through the ascension process to be like that. But if you know someone is there to actually do you harm, by all means. If they're really there to do you some serious harm, emotionally you should be able to cope with it. But, not abuse. It's not abuse. I'm not talking about abuse. Abuse is never tolerated. And if you're with a divine masculine and they're abusing you, they're not a divine masculine. Simple as that. Especially physical abuse. And if they really torture you as they're really mental abuse, like literally, they're not a divine masculine. So, anyway, let's see what these cards say. We're going to pull two. One for the Shield Maiden and one for Autumn. And see if it further gives us further clarification as to what's going on with our divine feminines. So, this one is number 34. And pay attention to the numbers because 34 added together is 7. An angel number. Okay, and I might even check for you if I get my phone. I check for you what that angel number means because I know there's a lot of people that don't know what it means. So, a leg up. Okay, so this is the Shield Maiden. Does she need a leg up for something? Can you see them? It's almost like the mother and child in the winter. And it looks like the child needs a leg up, or is it the actual mother that needs a leg up? We don't know. We're going to find out. I'll read these ones because they're beautiful cards in it. Can you see all the snow? Can you see the background? It's beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, so that amounts to 7. So let's find another card. Treasure Island. And that's the number 9. That's almost completion, isn't it? Because 10 is completion. So that's number 9. So please look up these numbers because they are significant for divine feminines. Look these numbers up. You've got the turtle and he's got treasure on his back. And is it that you're getting those plans into place and it's actually bearing fruit? We're going to find out, okay? But that's Treasure Island. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to come closer because that's such a beautiful card. Look at that. It's so cheerful. The sky's in the background. It's not even a blue. It's like a turquoise, isn't it? And look at that turtle with the treasure on its back. Anyway, let's go with it and find out what's going on with these cards. So, a leg up. Let's find out. You can tell I've been reading it because I've got my bookmark in there. But, because these cards are just so beautiful. One of my gifts, from what I understand, is that I soak in so much information. It's ridiculous. And I can do it quite fast. And I retain the information. So it's like, and what I understand, because I actually did my own reading for the Akashic Records. And to actually be able to access and this sounds weird, but the Akashic, but you can do it through these cards, with a combination of cards, but through these ones, you can actually go to the Akashic Records. It's like a library in the sky. If you don't know, this again, I'm going to have to do a whole load of leaflets because there's people that just don't know any of this information. And it's like the Akashic Records is the equivalent of the Book of Life in the Bible. Only thing is, instead of Judgment Day, from what I understand, we can have our Judgment Day on Earth. So if you're going through karma, if you're going through the shadow, if you're going through depression, anxiety, if you've hit rock bottom, you're being judged. It's a karma. You're being judged as to you're strong enough to come out on the other side. You've got to hit rock bottom to realise that the divine is there for you. You know, and that's going through your shadow of the valley. And it's here on Earth as opposed to waiting for Judgment Day. You can have your day on Earth rather than wait for it to die, because you know, once you die, your soul is moving on to the next person. And people don't seem to realise that, again, when you're born, your parents didn't choose you. You chose your parents because you're from another being. And there's a reason where you've actually chosen those people, because there's stories and there's lessons to be learned and there's stories to be told. And there's things that you need to know to be able to ascend again, for your soul to go back to be reincarnated. And when you're having, especially with divine feminine and masculines, okay, this is all downloaded through spirit to me because I'm new to this, but this is all downloaded to me from spirit. But as far as ascending is concerned with the masculines and the feminines, okay, it's usually the women that actually, from what I understand, it's usually the women that actually awaken first, and then they realise through interactions with certain people. Sometimes they just called in a soulmate. You can literally call in your twin flame. You can literally call in your twin. There's certain meditations and chants you can actually say that will call in your twin flame, and they could be anywhere in the world. They could have already been ascended, they could have already died, but you can have your twin flame in the 5D and be able to access and talk to them and do all sorts of nonsense. You know, you'll feel their energy because it's all about energies. But anyway, let's go find this. I'm going to shut up now. A leg up. Let's find a leg up. 128. So I'm going to shut up now because this is going on forever. Is it still going? It's still going, isn't it? Wow. This is going to be the longest one ever. 128. Okay. Essential meaning: receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. Okay. So there's our shield maiden, protecting herself, defending herself, not realize that she might need some help. But, you know, it could be any kind of help. So let's check. It says, you came to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. That's a general message, but if it's to do with your relationships, divine feminines, relationships that are healthy thrive on independence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind though. Ask and it shall be given. Do you understand, divine feminine? You don't have to go it alone. You don't. Find your soul family. Find the people around you that are there for you and understand what you're going through. And this is part of the reason why I'm doing this channel, because I realise that a lot of divine feminines, what they call closet priestesses, closet empresses, closet divine feminines that have no one to talk to, and having to rely on themselves. And if you could put it online and we can have a community online and we can interact together, it'd be a wonderful thing. So I will put free stuff on there. You can contact me on the emails if you want to. You can actually interact with me, because we're all here to help each other. We need to help each other because, as you know, we are not alone. We are not alone. So we need to be unified. We need to be a unity, because we need to be unified and to help each other and to serve, because we're here to serve, but it's to find that purpose. So, like I said, I'm planning to put information onto the website so that we can help each other, and some of it, will be free, and some of it will be a really minimal cost per month, because I don't believe in overcharging for something that I don't believe in it, and I don't think it's fair. So, I'm doing this because it's helping me as well. So anyway, let's get back to it. So, relationship message. Relationships that are healthy thrive on independence. It is important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. I read that already, didn't I? So, prosperity message, to do with your finances now. Now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or a business advisor who has been where you want to go, so help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid in the prosperity. It may also be the case that your endeavors have grown and you are in a position where you just can't do it all yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps towards your big dream. The perfect people arrive at the perfect time, so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. Do you understand, divine feminines? Are you out there doing some things and it's getting too much for you? I personally, I've got so much that I'm thinking about. I've got so many facets that I'm thinking about. So many things that I'd like to bring up there, just to serve. It's just to serve. And you'll find that, especially light workers, you're either doing something for humanity, you're doing something to serve, or you're doing something creative that will actually serve a purpose. Because it's all about the arts, the beauty, and getting out of the matrix. And that's another subject which I've already started writing about, which is on another channel, but I might bring it over to this one because it's all pertinent. Because, if you're doing a 9 to 5, you're a slave to a system that is serving you no purpose. And some people, it's fine. They love their job, and and it's fine. But I always felt a long time ago that I didn't want to do a 9 to 5 anyway, and I think this is all to do with the divinity. I've not worked a 9 to 5 in about 7-8 years, and I don't intend to ever again. But I am going to college to actually heighten my craft in photography. So I probably have a photography channel. I'll have a general channel, and I'll have this one where I do tarot and talk about the awakening process and what we should all be doing as feminines and masculines to actually accelerate that process, to be able to interact with our 5D selves for a start, because there's certain things you should be doing, like for example protecting your aura. I mean, I'll give you a good example of that. I went and saw my landlord, and he said to me, "You're shining. What are you doing? Are you shining? What you know? Your content seems so bright." And I'm like, "Well, maybe it's because I've got a little bit of sunshine." But I didn't realize at the time it's a lot to do with your aura. It's to do with your aura, you know. And you've got to learn to protect yourself. You've got to learn to protect, and it's got a lot to do with the Star of David. And I'm going to go deep now, but I'm not going there. So we need to look at the next card. I can talk for England. So, Treasure Island. I showed you that one already, didn't I? Let's go and look for Treasure Island, shall we? Because that's going to be to do with autumn. To do with autumn and to do with the conclusions that are within. Okay? So, Treasure Island. I might have to... Do you know what? I don't even want to chop it. I just want to put it up there and that's it. Just get it up there and done the thing. So, Treasure Island. Where are you? Oh, I can't believe. There you go, 32. See, all these cards are new to me. All of them. I've got a whole load of them, but what you have to do is charge your cards and make sure that they correspond with your energy. And this is why all these messages, no matter what cards I'm using, is related to each other, because you have to charge the cards, especially the ancestors one. You literally have to do an incantation from north, south, east and west. Bring those cards to your heart and make sure that it takes your energy, and you have to cleanse your cards as well. There's a true tarot readers are doing all this stuff. They will cleanse their cards. They will make sure that it's their energies and nobody else's energies that is actually interacting with your cards, because these cards are special and they're here that give messages through the divine, through spirit, through the actual loved ones. They actually send messages through them. And all this sounds very airy-fairy, but it's the truth. And this is what happened. And I, up until 2 weeks ago, none of this made sense to me. None of this. But I've been channeled through spirit to actually just pick up these cards and, you know, pick up these cards and start doing it. And, you know, it's a gift. It's another gift. So anyway, let's go to Treasure Island. So it was 35. It's 35 or 30. Oh, God, I've forgotten now. Yeah, here you go. Treasure Island. Essential meanings. The law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition. The result of positive thinking made manifest abundance appearing as it from nowhere. Financial gains and sharing of good fortune. You hear that? Treasure Island. So Treasure Island, you see all that treasure on top of there? That's why that treasure is there, because the law of attraction. And that is part of your divinity and your right to be able to manifest. Manifest what you want. And if you don't know, get to know. Because there's a special laws for manifestation and for people of divinity that can manifest without even thinking about it if you do it right. Okay? So, the oracle messages: you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize what X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all the long hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shares multiplies like magic. So when you're giving, receive. When you receive, always give. If you can give more than you receive, you'll get more back. You understand? Does that make sense? It's about all the laws of karma. Good karma, bad karma. Good energy, bad energy. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. I don't know if you realise quantum physics. If you don't know, get to know. Quantum physics, right? When you're looking at this card, it's not really a card, it's energy. When you're looking at this card, it's not a card, it's energy. When you're looking at a cushion, when you're looking at this is not a box, this is energy. And it's energy that can be turned into something else. If you burn that box, it's turned into cinders. It's still energy. It's still a thing. Quantum physics. It's all to do with quantum physics and laws of attraction. So if you know how to do it, sky's the limit. You've untapped potential. And I'm realising certain things and I'm getting into it. So maybe that's why that message is coming out. But divine feminines, you have untapped potential. Use it. I'm going to have to put a link in this to show you where to go to actually have a look at these manifestation rules for people that are ascending, people that are awakening, people that need other ways of getting out of the matrix. So, and it sounds very superficial, but ask, believe, receive. And with the real law of attraction, I mean, it says ask, perceive, deceive. But in the middle of that, there has to be some kind of action. So when you ask, you set your intention. Okay? When you believe, you have to put in the action. What are you going to do to actually bring that into fruition? You can do it part of the way, so your angels and your guides will help you the rest of the way, but you've got to set the intention, you've got to put something into action. And then you will receive. Set your intention, work towards it. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. The whole thing to this is not to worry about it, it's to keep your intentions pure. As long as it's pure intentions, it will manifest. So anyway, that's it, my ladies. I've done too much talking. I'm going to carry on. So, with regards to relationships, my divine feminines, your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need. But you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. Interesting, because the message I'm getting for some of these cards is that it's about time that you unblock that person. If you got a divine feminine, you got a divine feminine, they did something to you. You need to give them the chance to explain, at least, even if it's for closure. But from this message, it sounds like that they could be going through an awakening and you don't even know. You don't even realize. That could be going through an awakening and they could be a completely different person, in which case you can work with them then, can't you? Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, get to know. I keep saying that. If you don't know, get to know. I'm going to do all these leaflets and I'm going to start doing some leaflets. So it'll be two facets, like I said, to this channel. One will be the tarot and oracles. It'll be more oracles than it is tarots, because I believe that oracles give you a more direct message. Tarots give you more of a story, but the oracles give you a direct message. I'm more into the oracles, I have to say. I have got tarot as well, and I'm new to tarot, but I prefer the oracles because you can set the intentions. You can do incantations. Those cards are feeding your energy, and you're being given a message from divine through to the tarot and the actual oracle cards. So this is why I prefer the oracle cards. So, if you're into tarot, there's millions of tarot readers out there, but oracles are a little bit different. And I've got loads of oracle cards, I've got the chakra, I've got quantum, I've got angel tarot cards, which are more given messages again. But like I said, I've got spiritual messages from spirit, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do that as an audio. So let's carry on. The last part of this is the prosperity message. And this is all to do with the Treasure Island. And this is the important part, because Treasure Island is to do with money, isn't it? To do with manifestation. It's to do with your dreams coming true. So, divine feminines, at this time, you can be confident that your success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. The appearance of this card is in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. Drop the mic. Do you need to hear any more, people? Do you need to... Divine Feminines, get on it. Get on it, my girls. Get on it. Because Spirit is giving you the go ahead. You've got some plan of action. Get your plan together. Get what you're gonna do. You're literally creating wealth, health, happiness from thin air. Trust me and believe. Trust and believe. You know, don't forget now, get the shield down. Because if you're, what will be, will be. Just, not necessarily, you can still have your boundaries up, but you don't have to have the shield, like the blocking and all that. You don't need it really, because if they're ready to talk, they're ready to talk. If they've changed, they've changed. If they've not, they've not. And then you move on. But, you have to give them the chance, because if they're divine masculines that, need to do that. So anyway, divine feminines, divine masculines, I know, come join the Valerie's Natural Soul family, Valerie's Naturals Oracle Soul family, because we're here to help each other. We need unity. We need to unite. We need to have, we need to help and we need to find the knowledge to understand what is going on with us. What the hell is going on with my cards though? Did I put the wrong card in here? That one's there. So, yeah, I did. So, anyway, let's carry on with this. I'm going to do the audio. I'm going to do an audio, which is a separate thing for today as well, which is spiritual messages. And it might be useful. Because, I'm going to do it for the Divine Feminines. So that if there's a message in there from your spirit guides, from spirit, from your loved ones, because it's all about your loved ones, your angels, your spirit guides. If there's any messages in there, then it will come out for the Divine Feminine. So I'm going to do a separate and just do an audio and do a little clip of the picture so you can see the cards, and just do an audio so you can listen to it. Okay? So, over and out, peeps, and enjoy the rest of your day.